Joining us now is Democratic Party Chair Alicia Andrews. Alicia, good morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
Happy to have you here. Let's start first with talking about the main policies for Democratic candidates focusing here on the state level.
Right. So in the state of Oklahoma, Democrats believe in access to affordable health care, access to education for everyone, and economic opportunity, jobs. We just believe that everyone should have an equal opportunity, to achieve the American dream.
Okay, now let's talk about some of the other races that we're seeing on the ballot, because we know, of course, it's a big presidential election, but we also have those local state races. Those are important. We have state house and Senate races as well. Talk about the impact that the results of these races will have here in the state.
Absolutely. Oklahoma has a supermajority of Republicans in our state legislature, and every year the Democrats we're easing and getting more and more. It's important that we have disparate voices at the Capitol. Right now, when there's just this one-party rule, a lot of Oklahomans aren't getting served. And so in this election, we're challenging a lot of those seats so that we have a better opportunity for more Oklahomans to be served and to get what they need out of our government.
Okay, so we want to get people out to vote for that. We also know Oklahoma has 4 U.S. House seats on the ballot. Talk about the importance of these seats specifically and how important it is for the Democratic Party to win these races.
So those are our voices in D.C. And right now, one-party rule once again, and there are a lot of issues that affect Oklahomans that just never rise to the top because there's one party and they've decided on the one thing. So we're challenging these 4 seats so that we have different voices and we have representation in D.C. And that Oklahomans feel like they're part of the United States.
Yeah, and so as people are getting out to vote, we know Oklahoma has already seen some voter turnouts for early voting. It's election day. People were up early this morning. What are the big issues that we're looking at here? Or not the issues, I'm sorry, I want to talk about the working together here, bipartisan work and efforts here from our lawmakers in the state, regardless of who wins the presidential election. How would the Democratic Party move forward in working together with the GOP for what's best for Oklahoma?
So we're hoping, we're planning, and we're pretty confident that Vice President Kamala Harris will become President Kamala Harris. And so when we ask how will we work together, well, it's incumbent upon whoever wins Congress to represent all of Oklahoma and have our voice heard with the new president. If things go wrong and the former president wins, it's important that they remember that they represent all of Oklahoma, not just the Republicans.
Okay, and then as we look forward here to the closing of the polls a little later here at 7 p.m., a lot of people may be still getting up, getting ready to head out there. What is your final pitch and your message to Oklahoma voters today?
I heard the chair of the GOP, and he said that he believes that the economy and inflation is the most important thing in Oklahoma. And I have to agree with him that inflation is the most important thing. And that's all the more reason why on the federal level that Oklahomans need to vote for Vice President Kamala Harris. Currently, she's the vice president, and America is experiencing the best economy we've had in 50 years. She is promising to go after price gougers. That's why grocery prices are what they are. She is promising to give women autonomy or make decisions about their body. She's promising to make sure that education stays front and center in what we do in Oklahoma, because that's what provides us our future. Those are the kinds of things that I need voters to be thinking about as they go to the polls.
Okay, Alicia, we want to thank you so much for your time and for coming in with us today. We'll be with you guys later tonight as election results start coming in. So thank you for coming in this morning, and we'll be in touch.
All right, thanks for having me.
Of course, appreciate your time. We'll be right back.